Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and it's our last video of collaging this week. So I'll tell you a little bit at the end of this video what you can do to prepare for next week when we're going to be doing some more art together, but this is going to be it for collaging. So to finish off, let's just see if you can remember what collaging is, and maybe if we can use some different materials and some different techniques and tools that we've learned to use this week to make one final beautiful collage picture for me to add to some of the other ones that we've been doing this week that are displayed very proudly in my kitchen. I did say as a disclaimer at the beginning of the week that my artwork wasn't necessarily the best, but I was doing this because I thought it was something we could have fun with, and we could do some activities together that we'd really enjoy, and I think we have. So we're going to have a little look at some of the things you could use for our video today. Then we're going to have a think about sort of some of the pictures you could make, what are some of the different things that you could do with them. And you can either follow me and do something similar to what I do, or you can use your imagination and your own creativity, and I'm sure you have lots of it, to use these skills and techniques to make something completely different, something completely your own. So you've got those two options, and I'll let you know sort of what you can do as we go through. So let's have a look at what it is that we're going to need for today. Da, da, da. So session 5, which is free collage, which means that I'm going to give you a couple of ideas, but other than that, you can be completely free with how you would like to collage today. I'm using a range of materials. This is going to be some nice mixed media collage. And you can see from down here, people have used all sorts of things: straws, pom-poms, glitter, bits of cardboard, bits of ribbon, fabric, loads of things. You could use lolly sticks, food wrappers. You could use some magazines or newspaper clippings like we did earlier in the week. Anything at all, as long as your grown-up said you can. Don't start sticking sort of somebody's, you know, best jewellery or nicest toys onto your piece of paper. So make sure you ask first. But your only limit really is what your grown-up tells you and your imagination for today. So what you will need, a range of household materials you could use to collage. I've also put Lego on there, buttons, bottle tops, pom-poms, feathers, beads. You've got loads of options. A pair of scissors, some plain paper, obviously to stick them on, some glue, and either a pen or a pencil. So you can have a little pause now if you need a bit of time to get those bits together, and I look forward to knowing what you've been and collected. See you in a minute. So hopefully you've had time now to go and get some exciting bits together ready to do your collaging today. Now, I was a bit stuck between two ideas of what to do. I really liked the rainbow that we saw when we did the newspaper and magazine collaging. That looked really beautiful. But also I found some really nice collaging of butterflies, and I think I'm going to do a butterfly today because I really particularly liked those. So I'm going to do that. You can either do a butterfly too, or you could do a rainbow or something completely different. We've seen lots this week. We've seen elephants, we've seen, or we did cupcakes. Obviously you could do a flower or something like that again, or it doesn't even have to look like an animal or a particular object. You could just explore sticking lots of different things on the paper and exploring the different materials and the different textures. It doesn't even have to be a picture. You could just stick things on and just go wild and see what it is that you make. But I find it a bit easier if I've got a particular image, a particular picture that I'm focusing on and trying to make. So that's what I'm going to do today. But there are lots of other options. So I've collected loads of bits over the last week or so. I've got some extra newspaper clippings that we used in our third session, I think it was. I've got loads of these left over. I've also got loads of bits of card left over from session 1 when we were making our flowers. Okay, you could use maybe some pasta if you've got some pasta left over. I've also got just a box of goodies that I have upstairs of things that I've used to make various different bits of art over the years. I've got some nice little wooden letters. I've got tissue paper, buttons, a little bit of thread. Got all sorts in here. Super strong glue. That's what I needed when I was doing my leaf mat. And I've got some pom-poms and things at the bottom there as well. So you can either, I've given you the option this week that if you're going to do a particular picture, you could just draw an outline of it, perhaps to help you. Again, I'm going to go for the just getting straight into it and sticking stuff on. So to start off with, I'm going to need sort of the body of my butterfly, because that's what I'm going to do today. Don't worry if you're thinking, oh, we've done lots of butterflies and flowers this week, Miss Popham. Next week, we're going to be doing lots of boats and cars and things like that. So that's going to be really exciting as well. So I did have some long strips of magazine that I used from my CBeebies magazine the other day. So they will work quite well, I think, as the body of my butterfly, which is quite long. Here we go. So here's the body of my butterfly. The body of my butterfly. There we go. And then I might want a little bit of a circular bit at the top for his head. So I don't know if I've got a ready-made circular piece, but I just spotted this that's got a little circle on it, and that might be just the right size. So I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to cut along the dotted line to get that oval shape. And there we go. For his head, I might want to give him some little antenna. I'm trying to think what I could use for his antenna. I could maybe use some of the coloured card and chop that in half, because he needs 2 antennae. A little one there, and a little one there, I think. There we go. There's his 2 little antennae. They're quite big, not as thin as probably a normal butterfly's antenna, but like I said, you can be as creative and imaginative as you like. So now butterfly's going to need some wings, and I would quite like to use some buttons on the top wings, I think, because I like the buttons, and I am hoping they're going to stick a little bit better with my EVA glue. So don't worry if you don't have any of these things. It definitely does not need to look the same as mine. In fact, it's probably even better if it looks different and you've sort of done your own spin on it and used your own ideas. That's really important when we're doing sort of creative activities like this. It's really great if you can think of your own ideas and like new ways. Oh, and I've dropped my glue stick. And new ways to do things. That's what happens when I've got so many things out on the table to collage with. I end up knocking all sorts of things off, and then I always make that ooh sound, which you've definitely heard come out of my mouth a lot this week. So there's been lots of times I've made a mess and dropped things. I promise I'm not as clumsy at school. Got a bit more space to do it all at school. And I've run out of medium-sized buttons, so just for something different, I'm going to pop some little buttons on there for his wings. So this is just an idea of something you can do. You might want to have a go at this as well, or like I said, you can do something completely different, completely your own idea. There we go. So there's his top wings, and then I need to give him some shape for his bottom wings as well. And let's think what I could use to do that. I think I might use some tissue paper for one of them. So I'm going to do bottom wing here. And I'm using PVA just because it's a tiny bit stickier just especially for the buttons, because they're quite heavy, it's a tiny bit stickier. So that's better for what I'm doing. But don't panic if you haven't got any and you're using something else. Even we'll be looking at how you can use things like Blu Tack and sellotape in our sessions next week, and lots of different materials that you can use for joining and for sticking things together. So there's lots and lots of options if you haven't got glue like I've got. I think mine is from Asda. I think I'm allowed to say that. It's not like the BBC where you can't use any brand names. Not quite made it to the BBC yet, although I'm sure I've earned a Blue Peter badge over the course of the last couple of weeks. Blue Peter's still on the telly? I'm not sure. There we go. There's one of the bottom wings. So I'm going to have a little pause now while I add some things to my butterfly, and I want you to pause here, and whether, oh, you still can't see my face, and whether you're doing a butterfly or not, I'm just going to give you a little chance now to get on with your collage, to add some things onto it, to think about what it is that you're going to make, whether you're just going to explore different materials and stick loads on, or whether you're going to try and make maybe a face like we did earlier in the week or something different. And I'm going to give you a little chance to do that now, and then we'll come back together at the end. I'll show you what I've done, and maybe you can think of some ways that you can adapt and improve your work and make it even better. So we'll both pause here. I'll give you a little minute to carry on and come back when you're ready. Okay, so hopefully you've had time to add some bits onto your collage now, and it's looking really, really beautiful. And I'm ready to share mine with you and just show you some of the different techniques and the different materials that I've used to finish off my butterfly. So let's have a little look. So here we go. Here is my pretty much finished butterfly. So we did sort of the main body together, and know that I used just some clippings from a magazine to do that, and some bits of card for his antenna. Then I'd use the buttons to make the outside of his two top wings. For this wing here, I used some tissue paper. Now, there's lots you can do with tissue paper, because you can cut it, you can rip it, and you can either stick it down and lay it flat like this, but just sort of to add a bit of texture to mine, I decided to screw mine up into tiny little pieces like that and stick mine on. And then I used some more coloured card for this wing over here, and then I even added some cutting outs from the CBeebies magazine to fill in these top wings as well. And so there is my beautiful butterfly, and I've used lots of different materials there. I've got lots of different textures going on. I've got the feel of the buttons, the newspaper, the card, and I really like sort of the rough and like the tickliness, I would say, that's what I would call it, of the tissue paper as well. And I think that adds a little bit of 3D too. I don't know if you can see, it makes it stick out from the paper a little bit. So there's my butterfly. But like I've said, and I've said it lots, I'm a bit like my mum would say, I'm a broken record that just says the same thing over and over again. But there is no expectation that you need to do a butterfly like me. You can do absolutely anything. In fact, why don't we go back to the PowerPoint and just have a look at some of the different things that people had made down here. So we've got a colour wheel down here with all different things with different colours on. This one's just a really, really nice combination of different colours and different patterns and different fabrics. And I just love the sparkliness of that one. But also, if we go back through, okay, you could have done a tree. You might have chosen to make like a man, a similar figure like we did with our leaves. You could do here an animal, a rainbow, or faces. We've got more trees, more flowers. So we've had loads of ideas of different things you could do this week. So you might have done a butterfly along with me, but then after this video is finished, if you want an activity or something to do, then you might want to have a go at making something a bit different then. So there's lots and lots of ideas and different ways for you to apply some of the things you've learned about collaging, and the different materials you can use, and some of the different sort of techniques and things you can use for joining as well. So I'm going to talk to you very, very quickly about next week, just because there's a couple of things you might want to think about and get ready beforehand. And then I will sign off and say goodbye for today. So let's have a little look at what you're going to need. So next week we're going to be doing junk modelling, which I thought would be a really nice and easy one because most of us at home have some sort of recycling, whether it's cereal boxes, milk cartons, bottle tops, tissue boxes, egg boxes. I'm sure you've got some sort of recycling at home, and there's different things you can use and different ways you can adapt your junk modelling next week. So just an idea of some of the things that you might need. You might need some toilet roll tubes or kitchen roll tubes, a milk carton, egg boxes. If you end up using butter or something like that this week, it might be a good idea to hang on to the tub. You need a pen and a pencil, possibly some straws if you've got them at home, because we're going to make some boats and we might need them for the masts or something similar. Cardboard, like cereal boxes, sort of anything like that. And again, you might need some plain paper, plain or coloured, and pens and pencils and things like that. And anything you might want to use to decorate them as well. So similar to some of the things that we've used this week, you might be able to use for decorating. So I hope you've enjoyed this week, and I hope you get a chance to perhaps use some of my ideas to now go and adapt and improve your artwork. And I hope you're feeling really confident about some of the different ways that you can collage. And I'm excited to teach you more about different tools and techniques and ways of joining and making things when we do junk modelling together next week. But until then, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye.